Good evening, good afternoon, whoever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Requiem for London. This evening's scene will take place in the bounds of the Prince's Elysium, as it is the great and good of London society gather in order to sip tea and have pleasant conversation.
All right, we'll start the scene. Nikolai has finally managed to lose his sire, who's been trailing him, keeping an eye on him. It might have not been intentional so much as he got distracted and wandered off. It might have been something more intentional. It just might have been a random event, but either way, he's all alone and he's made his way towards one of the corners of the room where he can get a better perch and view of everything, maybe a balcony area so he could overlook. He's keeping his ears peeled, trying to pick up on any interesting conversations or references that might tickle his fancy.
Marcus, I nominate you to go next.
Marcus is dressed, since it's Elysium, in the black suit, shirt, and is just hanging back and watching what other kindred are doing. Currently doesn't seem extremely chatty. I mean, not in a bad mood, but apprehensive, let's call it that.
Joshua strides into the Prince's Elysium. There's the kind of click from his cane as it tips the ground. He's dressed somewhat formally, but perhaps formally for a bygone era. As you can see the kind of glint of metal under his clothing. He has this odd reputation as the Prince's Black Knight, so by God, he's going to keep up with that delusion as he wears a great coat over some combat armor as he enters the Prince's Elysium this evening. He will give Marcus an inclination of the head.
Marcus will nod back politely.
I assume that you are no worse the wear, Mr. Irons.
I seem to be fine. Thanks for asking. And yourself?
I am. Let's put it like this. These nights have been stressful.
You can say that again.
In the meantime, Nikolai is going to wander slightly over, not close enough to really get your guys' attentions, but see if he can overhear what's going on without actually getting involved in the conversation.
I said that I would let you know that I'm intending to go and have a conversation with your sire, Master Irons.
Maybe you'll have more luck with him than I did, is all he says.
I was wondering if you wish to accompany me.
There is an expression of uncomfortableness on his face.
I find that demons we don't confront are demons that haunt us all the more.
Who knows? Maybe it's necessary. He almost looks defeatedly at you.
Joshua writes something on a piece of paper that he will hand to Marcus.
He will take it, look around, and try to see who else is in the vicinity.
You see Nikolai just casually stroll by. He flicks his eyes towards you, but continues on his walk.
Marcus pockets the piece of paper and says, I'll have a look at it in a bit. Not right now.
You take your time. For the record, whenever you look at it, it just says, we need to have a conversation with him about a gold coin.
Marcus gives Nikolai a nod and turns his head back to the ringmaster.
Joshua points his cane at Nikolai. I've seen
Nikolai
your
freezes.
face before. What's your name?
He'll turn and do a slight bow and go. Most people call me Nick or Nikolai.
Is there a reason why you're pants-shittingly terrified of me, Mr. Nikolai?
I wouldn't say terrified. I would say wary.
Oh. Why?
I've heard the rumors.
Oh. I'm curious now. What do they say about me these nights?
You are Archon. You are a Glimpse Sanctum too. That you are somehow involved with the Crusaders. Sanctified. If I recall correctly, not my words, but if I recall correctly, my first experience with you was when you was with the Carthian, blaming you for massacring a lot of theirs.
Oh. The Carathians will do that.
But was he telling the truth?
You have my word. That night I killed no one. And I ordered no one killed.
Oh, I see.
If you want to check her, I think he's not lying.
Alright.
But I find that rumors are very interesting creatures, aren't they?
They certainly are. Most of them are wildly out of proportion, but once in a while you'll find a small nugget of truth.
That is as it is, I suppose.
Often in the most strange and bizarre ones.
He looks at Marcus and he says, he's a covenant mate of yours, isn't he?
Correct.
Interesting. How are things in the Order of Dracul? Well, I hope.
This and that, science experiments, dark rituals, you know the deal. Nothing big, nothing small. Steady.
That's a very interesting way of phrasing it. Steady.
Well,
Pardon me, Call of the Wild. I'll be back. And he starts walking to the gentleman's bathroom.
As you say, Mr. Irons.
Nikolai will raise an eyebrow and go, only in the Order will you see a vampire shit.
Marcus just laughs heartily as he walks to the gents.
Huh.
This sounds like an excellent moment for Alika to just walk in. She'll find a quiet corner as usual, and just kind of watches the crowd.
All right. So she's watching the crowd. So I'll continue talking if that's the case.
Mhm.
Um. So, are you enjoying Elysium so far?
It is what it is. There are elements of it that are amusing, but I'm not a fan of the very forced feeling of the social interaction.
Right, but so many tidbits come up. So much interpersonal drama.
Oh. Are you a connoisseur of drama, Mr. Nikolai?
I'm a connoisseur of knowledge.
No.
Once in a while, something will drop from the branches of drama. And
And in
in it, once in a while, in those rare occasions, I find myself enjoying the pettiness of society.
fascinating. Joshua leans on his cane as his eyes flick around the room, kind of lazily. He doesn't seem to be in any kind of hurry or
Yeah.
there doesn't seem to be any kind of onus to his movements until he sees, "Hi, Alley Cat. How are you?" Uh, he sighs softly before he'll say, "Will you excuse me, Mr. Nikolai?"
By all means.
He walks towards Alley Cat, and is she sitting at a table or is she standing?
Alley cat.
Saskia.
Meow.
Sorry, I thought I wasn't muted. I am muted. I was
Meow.
muted. She is standing against, kind of leaning against the wall. And she'll give Joshua a nod as he approaches.
Joshua looks her up and down, leaning on his cane. And he'll just say, "Hmm." He glances around to see who else might be listening before he'll just say, "I see your leg has grown back."
She looks down and then looks back up and shrugs. I see shitty news travels fast.
No, that's the point. It doesn't. Or rather, it shouldn't. So,
Raises an
go-
eyebrow.
he looks around and he sighs. Rather unfortunate situation this, but I'm going to try and be reasonable, and I'd like you to remain calm, please.
Those are usually the things that don't make people be calm. So she'll just, kind of push herself off the wall so that she's actually like fully standing up, and her eyes kind of dart to the exits. And then she looks back at Joshua and says, "What the fuck's going on?"
He leans on his cane and he says, "By princely edict, I'm afraid that you're going to have to come with me."
Why?
How does one phrase this? You can see that he actually is mulling his thoughts before he'll say, "You are to be debriefed."
Debriefed. Of
Yes.
what? As far as I know, I didn't have any mission.
It is more so the fact that you have come into contact with a major threat to this domain and to all those whom live within it.
So where are we going then?
I beg your pardon?
Where are we going then?
One moment, please. He takes out his phone and you just see him Google Maps. Google Maps does whatever the Google Maps does. He will give you an address.
Okay, does she recognizes the address? Is it in what territory is it?
It's probably not far away from here, like just down the road. Like maybe 10, 15 minutes walk.
Okay, she'll look at it. So, why is that place so important?
It is, or rather, it is the facility. It is the means for me to talk to you securely and privately.
With all due respect, but it all sounds a bit shady to me. No offense.
I beg your pardon, Saskia. Sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
It all sounds a bit shady to me. No offense.
I'm saying this to you as the Prince's Archon.
I want to have my sire present.
Have you informed your sire as to what it is that you encountered in your home?
She's aware that I had an accident with my leg.
Very well. Your sire will be brought to you.
She doesn't know anything more than that. Which, by the way, is a lie, and if you want me, I can roll subterfuge.
I don't know how you oppose subterfuge in this game.
Wits plus empathy.
God, thank God. Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Subterfuge,
Or
manipulation.
wits plus subterfuge. Because apparently knowing about being a liar is equivalent to knowing about lies.
That's
We
how
take dice roller 2, I take it?
I assume so.
Okay. And is it wit subterfuge to lie, or is it composure or presence subterfuge?
Manipulation, is it? Manipulation is stat.
Oh, yeah, manipulation. Yeah, that makes sense.
There you go.
Too bad.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's not half bad. That is better.
I will point out he did spend a willpower for that one. So, all right.
Oh.
He nods. He doesn't give anything away. He'll just say, okay. As I've said, your sire will be brought to you there.
I prefer to go there together with my sire.
Walks out of the gentleman's bathroom, wiping something away from the corner of his mouth.
You see Joshua sigh as he just kind of takes his nose, he puts his thumb and his forefinger to the bridge of his nose, just like, how? Why is it Tuesday? Before he says, I'm going to give you a piece of advice, Miss Alley Cat. Do you have any idea what it is that we are currently combating?
I have a vague inkling, yeah.
Yeah, don't lie to me in future. I have been nothing but honest and upfront with you. Please show me the same courtesy.
Well, they're talking. Nikolai will move over to Marcus and nod towards those two and go, any clue what the fuck that's about?
Huh? And Marcus looks over, seeing Alley Cat and Joshua talking. Why? What's up? What have I missed?
We were just chatting, but the second he saw Alley Cat, he went like a man possessed. Went from completely calm to a wartime face.
Oh no, he's still completely calm. I should point that out. He hasn't broken out of being calm.
I know.
Okay.
I'm trying to put it in a way that you basically went from you were all loose, calm, relaxed, but the second Alley Cat showed up, you went all business-like.
Marcus just gives Nikolai a nod and looks concerned over to the two kindred, wondering, thinking. It is obviously that he's thinking about something. He's not hiding that.
Nikolai is just going to watch from his viewpoint. Does Alley Cat look nervous?
She looks on guard.
Right. Then watching it is.
Marcus will very gently nudge Nikolai and say, could it be because he's Lancair Sanctum and she's Carthian? There have been political tensions recently. He says very gently, very softly. It won't be audible for the other two kindred.
Perhaps, but this would not be the time or place, especially given who is hosting this swindig.
Well, yes, and it's also Elysium. They're just like certain pretenses that have to be kept up.
Yes. Well, let's watch. Let's see.
Agreed.
But I have no desire to get in the way of the ringmaster.
He's an Archon after all. Yeah, let's hang back and watch.
And back to you two. As we're just sitting there slowly munching popcorn watching. Bloody popcorn. Blood corn.
Alley Cat will just kind of shrug at Joshua's remark. Don't lie. She's like, yeah, sure.
Unfortunately, the more people who know about this particular threat, the more threatening it becomes. So.
You could also turn this around and say the less people that know about this, the more problematic it would be because it can catch all of us unaware.
That is a very Carthian statement.
Am I wrong, though?
Yes.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
But sure, I'll speak with you at that location. Send me a time and a place, and I'll be there. Well, the place I already know.
He puts the phone away in his pocket. He says, I tell you what, be reasonable. Call your sire. And after, well, you've had your time here this evening, I'm led to understand that the Elysium will be concluding in a few hours. When it's over, we'll all walk down there together. Copacetic?
The other option would be us departing right now, I presume.
Yeah.
From your words.
Yeah, but
Why is it so urgent?
I have orders, and lives are on the line, and orders. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Okay? You and
Bring it.
I don't like what your people stand for. I don't. I don't like the
Same here.
brutishness. I don't like the brutishness. I don't like the combative nature. I think that it's I think that it's entirely pointless. However, I'm going to also. You know that Chris is here and you haven't let him into the call, right? For fuck's sake.
No, I didn't.
Well done. That's a slow clap. Well fucking done.
I thought people
Aw,
had
poor Chris.
noticed. Oh, damn it.
I'm going to be entirely honest with you. This can go one of a handful of ways. And it's up to you how it goes. So, essentially, you have to be debriefed. Now, the debriefing, well, let's put it like this. One way or the other, it's probably going to happen. You can either come with me quietly, peacefully, and this will be all noted, or we have to have drama and fisticuffs. And frankly, if you start to make a fuss, well, ultimately, blood will spill. Yeah, chances are I'm not going to even attempt to hold you, Miss Alley Cat, because once again, it's the Elysium, and I'm feeling somewhat generous. But if you don't come with me, then violence will probably erupt. I'm not saying this necessarily as a threat, more so as the fact that things are kind of a tinderbox at the moment. Things are about ready to
Yeah.
blow.
I get that court is trying to find a reason to bash more on the Carthian. Be that reason.
Correct.
I'm well aware of the political problems in the city at the moment.
Yeah. And frankly, as I've said, I don't particularly like your movement, but I don't want people to have to suffer because of, well, you seem to be the kind of individuals who will all jump under the bus when one of you does.
It's called believing in each other. Maybe your group should do that as well. Well, I'm not here to insult you or your faction. I apologize.
I believe that God is our only judge, Miss Alleycat. So, I'm not going to lie. I hope that you come to the right decision. because I don't want to have to fight you or the Carthians. I don't think the other Archons or the Sheriff particularly want this fight. If you come with us reasonably and quietly, it won't be as bad.
You seriously don't believe yourself, right? I think the Archons and the Sheriff, and maybe even you, I don't know. I won't judge you and your words. But I think, as I said before, a lot of people in this court are looking for a reason to bash on us. The only reason they have not been able to do so is because we are so many, and maybe because we are right. And if you bash on us, other factions will jump up to our defense as well. But you do need an excuse to bash on us. I would not be surprised if there is a group that will cause drama and that hopes that I will run away so that they have an excuse to invade our territories.
Let's put it like this. As I've said, on many of the statements you've just said, you are 100% correct. If you run, factions will form, blood will spill, accusations will be made, people will try to claim you. It'll be the exact same as the debacle with the Revenant kids, but so much worse. So, as I've said, I'm going to go and enjoy my evening's festivities, or rather enjoy the Elysium as it is. And you have the choice of how this is going to go. If it's going to go easy, cool. But before I go, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to be entirely honest with you because I don't know why entire honesty seems to be my vibe of this evening. So, you believe in your movement, right?
If not, I wouldn't be a Carthian, would I?
I get it. That thing that I'm not going to name has a piece of you. Now, you mightn't understand the concept of sympathetic connections. I do. If that thing is or has the abilities and powers that I think it does, you become a walking, talking puppet. Not only that, but you literally, by existing, by standing there, and by standing with your friends, put them all at risk. And I mean,
You think I'm
truly.
not aware of that? I am
Well,
very well aware of that.
However, if it's kept and is held on to that piece of you, it also means that you might have given people like me and other individuals who have such esoteric abilities the ability to track it. So, at the moment, you're actually valuable, which is why we're having a very pleasant conversation because, frankly, I'm shitting myself terrified. But, when you've been in show business as long as I have, you know how to keep a smile. So, yeah.
Question, since you're being so honest, and I appreciate your honesty,
Mm-hmm.
what happens after I lose my value?
That depends. When it comes down to it, fuck! Bishop, since you're here, what's the name of the prince?
Prince Cedric Graves, why?
Because I had to actually give his name for a sentence I was going to say.
Okay.
When it all boils down to it, Prince Graves is not a man who forgets loyalty, who forgets service. So when it all boils down, if you've been useful, I'll stand up for you. I'll fight the battle.
Do I have your word for that?
He contemplates that for a moment. He says, "You have my oath." And I'm apparently a knight now, so that apparently means something.
I appreciate that. I will inform my sire of this. We'll see at the end of the evening.
As you like. In that case, as I've said, I'll be waiting at this. He looks down. Why does the sheriff have a fucking drop off at a pizza parlor? I don't care. Just he's a weird guy. I accept it. We move on. On the side note, Bishop, we have inserted into canon he has a drop off at a pizza parlor.
I mean, it's. I mean, nobody would expect it, right? Like you said it yourself. Like, why does he have a drop off at a pizza parlor? It's serving its purpose.
Canucci's family. Okay. The fact it has family in the name just made everything 10 times worse.
Now we roll for detachment.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, no, he'll nod, and then he'll just turn and he'll walk back. He'll walk back towards the party people.
Look, all I have to say is, how do you think they get rid of all the leftover bone and body parts?
Actually, since we have a bishop, I am also going to take out my cell phone.
Oh yeah.
Cell phone
Same
frames. Yeah. And I'm gonna start. I'm gonna make a phone call. I think then Alley Cat's gonna make a phone call.
And then you're gonna get a
Yup.
note.
So Ali, if you'd like to make your phone call first while we monopolize Bishop's time, I'm fine with that.
Ooh.
Aw,
Oh, how very cheeky.
Ali is gonna call Sadie.
Okay. A second.
She'll actually walk into the ladies' room for that.
The ladies' room. Okay. I mean, they do exist, to be fair. One sec. Let me get her up for you.
Yay, Sadie.
I've also got to go throw Sadie in the shit with my phone calls. So everything's great.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Archon wants me in for a debriefing.
Okay. How quickly did you tell him to fuck off?
We had a polite conversation, but if I don't follow him at the end of this evening's Elysium, I'll be... things will be problematic. Do we want things to be problematic?
I mean... Wait a second. Wait, isn't this fucking Elysium being held on our turf? Oh, they can 100% fuck off. What are they even demanding you in for?
You know what shit.
The thing about a few nights ago?
My leg.
But you haven't committed any crime whatsoever. I mean, if they want to talk to you, can't they just do it in Elysium? Isn't that the perfect place for them to do it?
I suppose, but
I mean,
they
just...
wanna have... Look, the thing is, and I realize this well enough, if this becomes shit, then they have another reason to bash on our turf, you know?
They're literally... They could literally ask you what they want to ask you right now. You have committed no crime whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but hey, when will the prince listen to that shit? He did give me his oath that if I cooperate, he'll vouch for me. Whatever that means.
Yeah. And let me guess. Where do they want to take you? Let me guess. It's the Shard.
Actually, it's a pizza parlor.
The pizza parlor will go to the Shard, and you know it.
I do, but I never actually said I was taking her to the Shard. I never mentioned it once.
Shard now has a pizza parlor.
It's canon. It's on the 3rd floor. It serves an amazing margarita.
I like
So
margaritas.
apparently, this Archon is into Hawaii pizzas. I never understood pineapple on pizza, but hey, there you have it.
What?
An address down the street, some sort of pizza place.
Yeah, don't leave Elysium with like half a dozen coffins at your back. Like, unless you've got half a dozen coffins at your back, there's no way you're safe. The sheriff's a fucking hitman. They're not a police officer.
If I'm not going, how big is the chance that we'll be having war within the next nights between the different factions?
I mean, they really want to start war over this when they could literally just politely ask you right now, or the Keeper could set something up. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? They're literally on our turf. Like, they think they can just waltz on in and start fucking around.
Look, do you have half a dozen Carthians at your beck and call?
I mean, I have
Yeah, fair enough.
4.
You do.
Yeah, I actually do. And you would, like, Carthians stick together. We're not going to allow you to get taken in to some outside of Elysium for no reason.
Well, see how many people you can get together. I'll call
I mean, who else is there? Like, I mean, I know Dracian always shows up to these things. Maybe Rodney's there? Is Verve there?
I don't know.
Actually,
I just walked in.
I mean, have a look around, like, you know.
Yeah, just be here, please.
Fuck, I fucking hate Elysium.
Fine.
I'm
Okay,
coming.
fine, then don't.
No, I'm coming. I'm
hangs up.
Jesus Christ. She calls you back immediately.
What?
Asshole, I'm coming on over. Hangs up.
Winning.
Ali will call back.
What?
And the maquette and the
Bitch,
bench were
don't you
just
hang up
the
on me
start
after
of
I
it.
hang up on you.
She hangs up first.
Hangs up.
Amazing. We're literally having a 90s teenage girl phone argument.
Yep.
Amazing.
It's phone tag.
Marcus just looks to Nikolai and sort of goes like, "That reminds me of my teenage daughters." This is bizarre.
I mean, to be fair,
Wait,
she was
in the women's bathroom.
Oh wait,
Yes.
no, forget that. Sorry, my mistake. My bad. Continue. I never was here.
I love you.
You know what? Fuck. You know what, Bishop? Fuck it. Let's just go for the big guns. Let's just whip out the nuclear option, because honestly, you know what? I'm sick and tired of feeling like the bad guy. So, is his royal pomposity, who has a very fabulous face claim at this particular soiree?
Well, yes, he is.
I'm gonna go and talk to him.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Let him tell. He can give me the orders of what to do, because I'm sick and tired of feeling like a dickbag to my fellow players.
I mean, it's almost like the prince. I mean, you think the prince is going to give you orders not to be a dickbag?
Oh no, he's gonna no, but at least then the players will hear me get orders to be a dickbag.
That's oh no, what's going on? Everything's getting all messed up on my.
Clearly, you need to find someone to be a dickbag with you.
Ooh.
I mean, does anyone else want to be an Archon?
Nope.
I can't guarantee how long this character will unlive, but who knows? Maybe.
Who knows? Yes, his royal pomposity is here. He is speaking with several very prestigious members of the Invictus. I'll actually just show you a couple of them now. One of them is Seneschal, who I think all of you have seen before.
Mm-hmm.
This lovely,
Yeah.
lovely lady here, and
Oh,
also
yeah, absolutely.
this woman, who I think some of you have seen before as well.
Yes.
As well as this gentleman. They're all having a wonderfully polite discussion together. But you can call the prince to one side. It's official business.
Joshua will he will walk and he will bow to the collective audience. For the record, Joshua always dresses for this event, considering he's the prince's quote unquote black knight. So he wears a long coat over his combat armor because it's just his aesthetic now for Elysium.
Wait, I
I've
heard the word
decided.
Black Knight.
Mm.
Interesting.
But he will bow to the prince and he will say, "If you will, your Highness, there's an important matter that I must unfortunately borrow you for a few moments, if you can spare them."
Ah, well, the fun could only last so long. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please excuse me for the briefest of moments. You will bow before the group, all of them bow before him, and they will return to their discussion about the prince. And he'll say, "What is it, my dear Archon, that ails you so?"
There has been a major complication, my lord.
Oh?
In my interrogations of Mr. Irons as it pertains the matter in question, your report should have been sent to you. He revealed that one Miss Alicat of the Carthian movement was also involved in this matter. She is the childer of Sadie. I've met the person, I can't remember her name though.
Sadie Miri.
Sadie Miri, I assume you are familiar with her.
He takes a moment, raises his eyebrows if struggling to remember. I know the name in person, don't believe I've ever formally met the lady.
Needless to say, Miss Alicat is currently here in your Elysium, and she has alluded to me that she has not only informed her eminent, I'm led to understand, sire, of the current situation as it pertains the matter at hand, but also has advocated the open and honest recounting of said information to the denizens of the princedom.
I see. His eyes sort of look up and off to the look up and to the right, as if in thought. He gauges the room quite carefully. And he pauses for an almost uncomfortably long period of time. It's almost as if he forgets you're there for a moment. And then he'll turn to face you.
I've seen him do this before, haven't I? He did this when I brought in somebody before. At least he did this when I was talking to him about saving the character that's now being played by James. He did the whole thing of his eyes go up to the right and he seems to just stare for an uncomfortably long period of time.
Yeah.
Almost like he's listening to orders.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes scan the room and the exits and the ceiling and where everybody is. It's a very his eyes very much dart around the room in a very precise manner. It doesn't feel random at all. It doesn't look panicked. It looks like somebody who's going through a thought process and is deciding what to do. Well, then perhaps she should be. Perhaps she should be brought to bear after the event. It would perhaps be improper to do so here. I would at the very least like to show my keeper that courtesy. Do you want to roll me a quick wit sympathy?
More than life itself.
His -4 dice. He's a wily boy.
Yep, second willpower of the evening. Hooray. I do get a success.
Okay. For all of her being a keeper, he doesn't speak of her with that much reverence. But
which keeper is hosting this?
It is this one.
Which one is that?
It's Murph Caliborn. She's an ancestor of the Circle of the Crone.
I'm so tempted to say, have you considered a Lankea keeper? Yeah.
He also seems, how to put it, he says it would be discourteous, but based on his body language and his facial expression, which are all quite subtle, you don't think that's the actual reason.
He quirks an eyebrow.
You think that is very much the pretense as to why he is not having you do this, or why you will not be doing this, but you don't think that is the actual reason.
As you like, my lord.
But by all means, do keep an eye on her, and when she leaves, please do inform either myself or one of the other Archons.
Yes, as you say. Though I do have something that you perhaps might enjoy, Your Highness. Something to take your mind off the rigors of this evening.
Oh, I do love distractions.
Then if I may. My lords, my ladies, friends, gentlemen, I have been remiss. Here I am, surrounded by so many wonderful faces, so many darling, enchanting, and no doubt fascinating individuals, and I have yet to even once, in your hallowed company, perform the craft for which I'm so famed, and for which I might be able to stir yet a beat from even the most cold and undead hearts. So, pray, my lords, my ladies of Alabaster, lend me your ears for just a brief moment. Let me get that cold dead heart. Oh god damn it, this is going to end sadly.
No, I'm not actually going to bring him up.
Marcus
Not
looks
that cruel.
confused at Nikolai.
What did you say? I sort of.
Sorry. Marcus just sort of turns to Nikolai and gives him this "what the fuck" look.
He certainly has
This
a
is obviously new to him.
he certainly has a way with words, doesn't he?
He is
Ellie will
quite
re-emerge
verbally
from the
verbose, I
ladies'
have to
room.
say.
So,
Nikolai's going to gesture to Alleycat to come.
ladies and gentlemen, Madame de Monsieur, let me assure you, possibilities and impossibilities, they tend to run from side to side, from darkness into light. And it is about the concept of light that I would talk to you. He walks into the center of the room and he flicks his face. He removes from the inside of his coat a tarot card. And he will say, "Behold, if you will, my lords and my ladies, the moon card. Beautiful. The moon represents femininity. It represents the calm passage of time. It represents the sea and the tides. It represents change, and it represents, well, for we are children of the moonlight, it represents us. And yet, so it is that oftentimes in this life, we, even us, with our undead hearts, sometimes long for change. We sometimes long for that which we cannot have. He kind of stands in front of a table and he moves his hand around it once. He moves his hand around it twice. He moves his hand around it 3 times. He will then say, "We, my lords and my ladies." He brings both of his hands together in the center of the table. And for the record, this will have been in a backpack or will have been in a piece of will have been in a thing that he had, will be hidden and secured on his person because it's not that hard. And he will say, "We, my lords, my ladies, oftentimes yearn not for the moon, no, but we yearn for the sun." Bishop, I'm going to make a sleight of hand roll if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Cool. Are there any penalties for this roll?
No.
All right, so that's dexterity plus his subterfuge, so that's 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7. He's going to spend a third willpower because he wants to get this right. And he's going to spend a blood. He is full on blood as of the start of this scene. So that is going to be a total of...
Isn't slave hand larceny?
I do it with subterfuge, according to Bishop, because it's basically me doing stage magic. It's about,
Okay.
look at this hand, look at this hand.
Wait a second, let me check your stat line. I thought it was expression you used or something like that.
No, I use that. Oh, I could use either. I use sleight of hand for whatchamacallit. I use where's it gone?
One second, let me check a sheet, because yeah, I can't remember which one you actually used.
I use subterfuge for stage magic.
Oh, yeah, because I know you got a specialty in stage magic, don't you?
I do. He's also got a specialty in showmanship for expression.
Yeah, showmanship for expression. So you can use subterfuge for stage magic.
Alright, cool. So that's a total of 6,
Does
7.
this mean
Trying to trick people.
I was gonna say, does this mean we can roll perception alertness or whatever? The
Yeah, you
equivalent is
can
here?
roll wits plus composure. In fact, Alleycat, you're very good at
Thank
wits
you.
plus composure rolls.
Right.
Yes. You can attempt to spoil the lovely trick by pointing out how obvious it is.
Oh, okay. You know what? Time to roll.
Now everybody's
You know
like,
what?
let me roll.
I'm going to spend a willpower here.
He's not even really doing a trick, which is the interesting thing.
Joshua just wants to do magic.
Kind of.
No, that went wrong. How does this work?
You do 8 again instead of roll.
No space between the 8 and
yeah.
again.
I did. Oh fuck! I was gonna say I did that, but
No space between the two
Oh,
No. Oh my
wow,
god.
You
I
need
don't
to add
do-
it.
I suck. Yeah, I know I suck.
I'm getting
Sorry.
fucking salty now.
Hey.
Okay.
Whoa.
One success. To be fair, in this case, it is more the scientific
Look at
mask
that.
is coming out, and he's just making
That's a
notes,
10
and you're just observing.
into a-
Oh my god!
That's a 10 into a 9 into an 8 into a 9. So you
That's-
got 4 successes of 1 dice. Impressive. Young Skywalker.
It's in, no, the funny
Oh.
the funny thing about this is you see him palm the real magic, which is interesting. Like you obviously see him palm something as he flicks it down onto the table in incredibly quick show on top of his tarot card, because that's all he was doing.
Can I do the one action for this round and put on a pair of sunglasses?
No, go away.
Thank you.
You're not that cool. Accept it.
Screw it. He's totally that cool.
Yeah, no, so Alicat, basically, if you want to interrupt him, you basically see him palm something in his hand, and as he's about to flick it down on the table.
By the way, while everybody's distracted by this, I'm just going to slip a note into Alley Cat's pocket.
Oh, make me a dex larceny.
Yes, I know.
Can I keep my roll?
No, I've actually got the sleight of hand merit, which says you have to be specifically looking for it to notice it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Cool. I don't think Ellie is really gonna rat Joshua out. She doesn't really have a reason to, have him annoyed at her. In fact, preferably the other way around, not being annoyed.
Cool. So what you guys
But
see
at
is
least he sees it.
there is a momentary flink as Joshua extends his hands, at which point the room is basked in an incredibly pure white light from a lantern that he flicks from an almost circular lantern that he flicks down onto the table. The firelight is definitely not normal. It's beautiful to look at. It's almost like pure incandescent white flame. It almost looks like a little sun. And Bishop, you know what that does.
Does it trigger Rorschach, is my question.
No,
It's-
no, it does not.
It doesn't actually, and it's contained anyway.
Huh.
Okay.
We'll come closer and have a good look and try not to go blind in the process with his sunglasses on.
But before anything happens, I just need to actually have Bishop see if I need to see if something happens.
Yeah, figured.
Alrighty. Things are about to get interesting.
I forced it out, didn't I?
One sec. Let me actually check what the ritual does, because I know it has a bunch of specific effects. And I didn't actually write it down in the old sheet, which was not bad. And it's in an obscure ass book.
Which book is it in?
Fall of the Camarilla.
Neat.
We're about to spot a Strix.
You might be.
Oh god, I knew it.
Now, here's my important question. Is Constantine still here?
Yes, he was just shown in a picture.
Oh, fuck. He's going to be pissed.
Oh wait, does that mean that? Oh, okay.
So, it immediately lets out a cry and grasps at his eyes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He
No, you didn't. It's the bloodline curse. They
he
they're sensitive to light.
stumbles and attempts to and shadow swirls around him, and he sinks into it. A few more individuals cry out. First is, oh my god. I have to find them all. First, there is this woman, and there is also this gentleman.
Oh no, I liked that guy.
Snapping pictures of both of them.
Just for clarification, Bishop, can I know what does the ritual actually do?
The ritual empowers a light source, which in this case is the lantern.
Mm-hmm.
It fills every corner of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then any if the light impacts anything, any spirit possessing a body not of its own will, they will quail the illumination and immediately lose all actions for the turn. It must sacrifice the body it is possessing, or sacrifice a point of willpower. And it must spend a point of willpower to approach or attack you. No bonus dice are granted by the expenditure. So more powerful spirits would be able to just sacrifice the willpower and resist it, but weaker ones would probably abandon their bodies.
My Deus Vault senses are tingling.
So at least we see two of the weak ones.
Well, those two weak ones, oh god, what you're going to see happen next is going to be quite something.
I'm so glad I've got
Because-
sunglasses on for this.
God damn it.
The bodies are literally, their eyes turn both black and liquid night just leaves their body and forms into what you were all trying to find. Two.
Wait, you actually think we would be trying to find those things?
I mean, at least no one person is, but good job.
I did my job, Bishop. That's all I choose to say.
Oh,
Ooh. It's
Great.
go time, boys and girls.
the room bursts into panic. It is pandemonium.
You know how you said you were going to end Elysium tomorrow night? I think we're ending it tonight.
Yeah. You think?
We threw a wrench in his plans. Or you threw a wrench in his plans, I should say. We did nothing. But watch.
No, it was because he kept being distracted. I was thinking, is the Strix ordering the prince?
Yeah.
If so, I need to stop it right now.
Oh no, it's not him ordering the prince. It's another guy ordering the prince.
Oh, good.
It's the ancient one. What's his face?
Oh, that guy.
He certainly probably has telepathy.
Valid.
That's my guess, at least.
Anyway,
Anywho.
Or it's one of the Strix in
aren't we
Twilight.
fucked?
Because that doesn't reveal them from Twilight.
This is the room is complete chaos. Kindred are rushing to get out. The Strix begin to spread darkness over the room. One leaps into a nearby shadow and begins to meld with it, and the room begins to turn black, and the exits begin to seal.
Wait, there's more than one of them?
There's two.
Two.
Aha! That's information I didn't know.
Oh yeah, no, there's multiple of them. There's probably more than just these two.
Can you stop giving exposition out of character, bro?
Sorry.
Thank you.
So
I decided to have my YOLO moment, Bishop.
the worst part about this is that you also crippled the one person that could have stopped him.
Why? Because he's being ridden by a ghost? Or a spirit?
No, you. I'll explain it after the scene. It's not something you would have known, so you can't be blamed for it. It's just funny.
Bishop, where's my grandsire?
Oh, 1 second. I'll get it for you.
Because since, both Ocean and Sadie are not here yet, I will rush to my grandsire because she let on that she knows at least partially how to handle this shit. B, she's the keeper of Elysium. And C, one of the few people that I actually trust in this room.
Okay. She immediately yells, "Everybody out!"
Well, I don't think this counts as Elysium anymore, so can I try celerity to the doors before they sail?
You're not the first one to do that. And I don't think you'll be the last this evening.
Yep.
No. Alley Cat, what happens to you is the room begins to seal and turn black. Literally as if the same icon that was coming out of these individuals is covering the entire room. Alley Cat and Marcus, you both recognize this.
Yeah, it's that feeling of being in a giant stomach and feeling a bestial presence all around.
You feel like a cage is forming around you, and you want to get out before it completes itself. Alley Cat, your grandsire grows the same wings you've seen her grow before, appearing somewhat again with the visage of an angel. Grows talons from her feet, grabs you by the shoulders, and flies out of the building with you.
We're gonna have a talk about how heretical that is later.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what?
So,
Alley out.
Debating staying and fighting to my own death.
Debating joining you in this endeavor.
I'm of the mindset of
There are some people who stay.
Who stay? Oh, is that who I think it is? Wait, who's
As
the one?
everybody is leaving, he begins to enter.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Fuck it. If I die, I die. You staying or you going, Marcus?
Okay. Are the exits completely blocked? I mean, have people just stumbled over each other, or are people managing to get out of the building?
People are leaving. People are getting out of the building. The exit is closing. If you want to get out now, is your final chance.
You know what? Sorry, guys. He pulls out the shadow dagger and just shouts to the ringmaster, "I am at your side. Let's kill these fuckers."
There we go.
So I am running, but as I'm running, since I'm running past the wall, I am slapping one of my cameras onto the wall.
Okay, make me a Dex larceny check to see if you can get out in time, because you'll need to set up your camera.
Yep, but this is a reflex action, luckily. Because I can do larceny checks as reflex.
Dex larceny, Dex athletics, whichever's higher. Well, you can spend a celerity action, to be fair. I'll let you do that.
No, I'm saying larceny checks. Once per round, I can do a larceny check as a reflex of action.
Oh, fair enough.
It's part of the merit.
Nice. In which case, yeah, you can set up a camera real quick. It's not hard.
Do I still need to roll for it?
No, like have if it's reflexive.
Cool.
Okay.
I want to see what shit goes on, but I don't want to be here.
Your character seems to have this odd motif of running away / solving their problems via other people.
Me? Oh, yeah.
To be fair, that is kind of a cat in a nutshell.
That's boring.
I have no combat dots.
I'm not good at combat either, but I'm still going to fight this thing because it's fun.
Well,
I'm going to get my...
It's... Okay, back in character. So... okay, you're outside of the sire. She's going to fly you.
Setting the building on fire from the outside sounds like a very good idea.
Pardon?
Like, I want to set the building on fire.
Oh, she's going to let you do that. You're currently in the air. She currently has you in the air, like literally being held by clawed feet.
Whee!
And she's going to fly you to a nearby rooftop because also, like, you know, just flying around like that is kind of a masquerade breach, so she needs to get out of the air pretty quickly. But back inside the building. You are left with 3 individuals, and Joshua and Marcus. Marcus. The man with the grey hair looks at you. He holds out his hand, gesturing towards the dagger.
Marcus flips the dagger a pointy side down, going into a fighting stance.
Oh, what, like, you look like you're going to attack him, or...?
Somebody's just pointing at the dagger, and at this point he doesn't know if that person is possessed or in cahoots with the Strix or not, so he's just going into a defensive position. He doesn't know really what's going on, except it's going to be combat. It's going to be nasty.
Is that Prince? What's his name? Or former Prince Valarius? I can't really see him.
Yes.
Oh, is it? Wait a second.
Did it look like he was?
I have no memory of. Damn it.
No. We remember he was there. We just don't remember Nikolai was there.
Aha. Okay.
No, you don't remember. Never.
Okay, storyteller. Does Marcus remember the person who is gesturing to the blade?
No, I don't think so.
Wait, no, because he rode down in the elevator with us afterwards, and we had an entire conversation with him after he wiped our memories.
I thought that was prior because he got on the floor above you.
No,
Then he rode down
basically
with you.
he went down. I'll tell you this exactly. We went down. He got in the floor above us that we were going down to. He went down with us.
Now.
Then he went back up. It was because he had an entire conversation with Jessica about her bloodline and about how she was related to someone as we were in the lift after Nikolai had left.
No, I was still there for that.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't. Trust me.
Okay, don't argue out of character. That is one. Like I'm not gonna make that warning again. We'll discuss it after scene. But I'll just go over the video after the fact. But
anyway, Marcus doesn't know the guy, so Marcus is just inching with the blade towards Joshua, trying to cover his back for what it's worth.
he will lower his hand and then point. To just a random area on the wall. Use it or give it up. He says use it or give it up.
Okay, which is the near... Okay, so he has been pointing at a specific dot at the wall, right?
Yes. Well, just a specific point, but it appears, it's just entirely black, so... This entire room's pitch dark. It's actually quite hard to see in here. There is no light.
Understood. I would say I would like to use 2 points of blood, 1 to boost strength, 1 to boost dexterity. And my guy has blood potency too, so he can burn 2 dots of blood in one go. If that's okay.
Okay. So...
And Marcus will attack the spot because it's all so goddamn stressful, and at this point he's not even really sort of thinking straight, but it's just much, and he's a man of action, so okay, he goes and he'll try to stab and attack that part of the black wall, and we shall see how things go. Oh boy.
Ooh. I see multiple. Oh, that's from 1204.
Sorry. I hadn't realized I muted myself. Can I spend a dot of willpower, or is it too late now?
You can spend willpower. You haven't rolled yet.
Okay. Spend a dot of willpower. Come on. Exactly. So that means... Okay.
An exceptional success. Okay. You slam your sword into the specific spot that Valerius gestures you to. There is a feral screaming sound as the Strix emerges from the shadow, with but one wing.
Are there any actions left my guy could do, or is that it?
Oh, pardon?
I don't think my character's got any actions left, right?
No.
Okay, and that's the end of my turn.
When it emerges, both Stanford and Valerius will raise their hands. From them, there'll be a large gout of flame that encases the Strix.
Does that look like? I was gonna say, does that look like magic to me, Bishop, or something else?
Roll me wits occult.
These are dice that I possess. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Nope. Today is not my day.
Smells like heresy.
It does, you know.
Yes,
that's some Kruak bullshit right there.
Everybody needs to roll resolve plus composure minus 2 dice. Who sees the flames? That'd be you, Marcus, and you, Joshua.
Oh. That's a failure.
Okay. That's fine. The one benefits of this is that you can't actually get out of the building, so...
Hooray.
Marcus.
Yes, sir.
You need to roll resolve plus composure minus 2 dice.
Gotcha.
If you have tempted, the condition applies here.
Yes, correct. Has not been resolved yet, sir.
So you'll lose additional dice equal to your tempted level.
Okay, so 2 more dice to my tempted level. Gotcha. From sorry, I mean 2 successes. Yeah.
Okay, you gain an additional
I've never actually frenzied in this. Oh, sorry, continue.
You gain an additional point of frenzy. Sorry, tempted. So the dice penalty increases.
Understood.
Joshua, your beast has the goal of getting out of this building. So you're going to run for the exit.
Is there any way to restrain in this?
No, that requires certain merits or other abilities that you don't have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will throw myself at the goo.
The prince looks onwards, somewhat disappointed. Valerius and Dracian seem to ignore the frenzy. Their focus is entirely on the flames they're producing. It started out as a large sort of sphere that, much like this place, begins to decrease in size, eventually and slowly crushing the Strix until it vanishes in a wisp of shadow and an enormous scream that can be heard for miles. To show you again a beat for frenzy.
Yay!
The blackness from the building begins to fade. Joshua runs out into the street, and I'm going to make a chance die roll to see if anything happens.
How long until you can recover from frenzy in this game?
Until the goal is met. So,
Okay.
you'll stop frenzying shortly after leaving the building. Okay. When you snap out of frenzy, you're very close to the building, and you are not injured. There is no blood on your hands. You don't recall doing anything violent. You think you got lucky this time. No one got hurt.
Okay. I'm gonna go back in the building to get my fucking magic fire, and probably get murdered. In that order.
Marcus, you see Valerius look at Dracian with the barest hint of emotion.
What is that hint of emotion?
Roll me with sympathy. Minus, my god.
How much?
Oh, -8 dice is
Last time we had to roll it against this guy was a
I
chance
would have
die.
only had 2 anyway. -8 makes -6 dices. Do I still get a chance die?
Yes, you do.
I will.
Quick question. Did my camera catch any of this?
I'll roll a dice for you later and read a blue book for you.
Alright. Thank you.
1 success. Awesome. One success.
Wow, amazing. I'll blue book it to you.
No problem.
Dracian looks at him with a sort of resentment. A very weary resentment and tension and conflict.
I'm so tempted to announce the "yes, we both know you want to fuck" as I walk back into the room, but that's
And then they threw fireballs at you.
I accept my life choices as.
Are there any other Strix in the building? You know, as far as is obvious.
Not that you can see. The darkness surrounding the building begins to fade. The other one must have left.
Good. Thank you. That's good enough for Marcus for the moment.
Joshua, you run back in to see the group beginning to turn. The princess said nothing during all of this. He's not even reacted.
Joshua walks forward and silently he'll basically wrap the fire back up in a small kind of very, very black. It basically has like black silk that he just wraps around it. So, it'll take quite a bit of it till it makes a little ball to basically hide the fire, because it's basically like a perfect little circle. Because I don't think this fire needs oxygen to continue to burn. I think it's just magic fire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's transmutated into something else. Transmuted, sorry.
So he will just wordlessly kneel at the prince's side until he is either told to go and kill himself or is given some kind of leave to go. Apparently there was a, quote, slight problem, end quote.
I think of a lot of the problems we had here were not slight problems, but hey.
I'm
What do you
glad
mean
I
by
didn't.
that?
I am so glad I didn't cause the problem.
I mean, I consider this solving the problem, but then again, that's just me. Crusader's gonna crusade, yo.
I mean, yes and no, but wasn't the prince trying not to let everybody know the Strix are in town?
I mean, you kind of did. To be fair, he actually listens to Alley Cat. You can't keep something like this silent.
Pat. You did well, my Padawan.
I did what I call pressing the Saskia button.
Yes. I mean, it's good that someone else presses it. It shouldn't always be me.
I mean, to be fair, it was a perfect opportunity because, like, I bet money that they were going to be at this social gathering because they couldn't avoid it. So, like, it made perfect sense to me.
Yeah. I don't think the timing was great, though. Like, it would have helped if we were all prepared and they were not, but okay.
Yeah, but then again, if we prepared, they would have, like, if we'd had too much time to prepare, then it would have been a situation of, well, they may have caught wind of preparations because they're fucking boogeymen and, like, I don't know. To be fair, I low-key want Josh. I also low-key want Joshua to die. Please kill him.
Though, to be honest, I don't think this was the end of it at all.
Oh, this is only the
beginning. Probably not. But, like, I don't know. Meh. I don't like... I am not a fan of... I don't know. I'm not a fan of very amorphous evil. And the Strix are, like, the ultimate kind of amorphous... You can't really do jack shit about us evil. And I'm like, eh.
On the plus side, with Night Horrors out, he has a lot more stuff to play with besides this.
I mean, I also really don't like this system, but I'm coping.
I was gonna say, we know this, dear. We know.
Oh yeah, our storyteller fell out. So how are we gonna proceed?
I was gonna say.
Wait, sorry, that was my fault.
Well done, GG. There, he has one job.
It's okay. It happens when storytellers reload.
I'm just waiting to be executed. It's fine.
Dracian man, hilarious, simply. I'll stand there. Dracian actually says quite intensely. And once again, those who suffer under the presence of this priesthood must solve their problems for them, and he will leave.
It was your... No, fuck it. He's not going to make the point. He's just going to sit there and wait. It's fine. I was going to say, yeah, it was one of your movement who were like, we should deal with this problem, but whatever, be salty, bye.
Laris will stand. He looks at the prince looks back. He doesn't look cowed by the man in any way. And Valeris will simply nod to the man and leave. Simply say, I am disappointed, but I suppose there is nothing else you could have done.
Joshua stands and he says, if I am frank, I sense that you're a man who values honesty, so I will be honest. I was not sure if you were currently being manipulated or not. He shrugs.
Marcus will sheath his blade.
If the prince goes stock still when you say that, I'm not sure whether he's going to acknowledge your choice as legitimate or whether he's going to tend to your execution. But I think he just... He says you may leave now. We have Elysium tomorrow.
What was that, sorry, Bishop?
You may leave now. We have Elysium tomorrow.
Joshua turns on his heel and he says, it is the nature of the creed that I follow, that where there is wickedness, we must undo it. If I have erred this evening, it is because of the will to do what is right. However, I am sworn and bound, my oath by your decree, via he's kind of paraphrasing how he thinks this works, so it can be entirely wrong from the Invictus point of view, and that's entirely fine. He says, via the creeds and the credences and the chains of oaths and vassals, I serve you, my lord. You have my... You have never once lacked from my loyalty.
For one solace of this evening, Any cheeriness in his demeanour appears to have vanished completely, as if it was now veritable. He begins to walk out, leaving you with the Elysium with the floor, with the turned chairs, dented walls, broken glass.
I'm curious, where did you get that sword, Mr. Irons?
Out of character, what was the name? Something Steen, I think. Of the
Constantine.
Ah,
Constantine.
yeah, he'll just answer from the Mekit, Constantine.
Was that the same gentleman who decided to immaterialize into shadow?
Correct. He made it out of my own shadow.
Well, I'm not sure if I need to go and pray or I need to go and drink. It's one or the other.
If you want to go on a bender, I'd invite you.
Right. Let's go and get absolutely polluted. And they will just walk from.
Yep.
And he just goes, yeah, so what's your poison of choice? You hear them say as they go out of the Elysium.
Since I did the intro, should I do the outro?
Yes.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Requiem for London. Have a pleasant evening.